I know y'all been ready, man. I hear your microwaves beeping, dog. Popcorn, get your popcorn ready, man. So y'all already know what time it is.
Lyles slightly ahead and looks over and says, I'm still the world champion, and a little bit of a push there at the end as the rivalry comes into view.
He's still the man. And you better believe he's going to start as the favorite in Tokyo because he's only run 1988.
That man said he expect his apology. So what I can say from that, great run by all of the men. Shout out to Robert Gregory. Man, I want to shout him out. He got third. He pulled that one out the bag, man. He upsetted my little spin on what I thought was going to happen. I had Kenny first, Noah second, and I had Courtney Lindsay third. So Robert Gregory beat out Courtney Lindsay right at the line to snuff that third spot. Um, Coming through the line, man, Noah muscled that last 30 meters, man. Muscled that last 30 meters to walk them down into that world leading time. The push, I feel like, Kenny could have avoided him and bent the corner. You could bend the corner because you're not coming through with as much velocity as you are in 100. But I know how you feel when you get a stare down like that. He's watched that stare down happen to Arian, and he didn't like it. And because it happened to him, he feel like it was definitely unsportsmanlike and uncalled for. So I feel like the push was a reaction to that. Now, now the talks after, there's something definitely personal going on between these two gentlemen. This wasn't just because of the push or because of racing. There's something off the track brewing between these two gentlemen. What's your thoughts, bro?
Man, first of all, anybody that lines up with Noah in his races, 100 meters or 200 meters, and he's out to prove a point or win a medal, you know that he gonna go out there and do what he do. He gonna talk, talk, and then he gonna do his walk, walk, walk. And a part of that walk, walk, walk is gonna be like, gotcha, see ya, peace, it's me. He does all that, right? We've seen him. Let's look at the track record. It started in Shanghai in 2018 between him and Christian Coleman. Someone online said, "Hey, Noah, why were you leaning across the line looking, towards the inside? Were you looking at the clock?" And Noah respond was like, "What I need to look at the clock for?" So that tells you right there he was looking at his opponent. He was out there to compete at a different level. He was out there to say, "I'm not here to run time. I'm here to show out that I can beat you." Then he went on to have his words with Fred. We've known that. We saw it on Sprint. We saw it live, and they had their talks back and forth. And then it went on to Arian as well. So we've seen that also on TV where they had their talks while they were doing their post interview on making the team. And so that Noah is this kind of athlete. If you are going to give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. If you're going to leave the lane open to get to the throne, he's going to run with it all the way to the throne. The only way to stop someone like that is you got to shut him up in that foot race. You got to be that guy that comes across the line first and you look at him crazy like he looked at Kenny. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think a lot of athletes in those situations, they get tired of it. They get tired of the jovial, the taunting, all these kind of things. And I think it kind of bubbled over for Kenny. And Kenny was like, I think Kenny meant to like push him out of the way, like kind of like, all right, move out my way like that. And it came to like a full-on extended arm push, like a linebacker, like, bah! Like it went from, hey, man, move out the way to, man, if you don't get your ass out of my way kind of situation. But you see how quickly that Kenny kind of like checked his own self. He realized within the push, and then Noah turned around like, hey, what's up? What we doing here? What's going on? Kenny was like, hey, I apologize. I didn't mean to come out and push you, but we got to talk later. And that's when Noah's like, I expect my apology. So that lets you know at the end of the day, there's something deeper than what it is that we see on the track. And I think a lot of people are taking sides and saying, Kenny, great job. Enough is enough for that sportsman conduct. And other people like, Noah, keep doing your thing. You winning. You know what I'm saying? You backing your back up. You backing it up and keep on doing what you're doing. So I think it's split right now, but I think there's a deeper story behind it that I think we need to know more about.
Look, like I said, man, this does two things for our sport, right? It got everybody talking about it. This will have memes going everywhere. Our sport needs something like this. As long as it don't come to physical blows, and we've seen it before with some of our distance runners. As long as it doesn't come to a physical altercation, this is what the sport needs more. We have these type of storylines, and I think these guys will definitely get it together. I'm not. I'm saying in the split second, and I see some of the chat was like, I'm defending Kenny. I'm not defending Kenny. I'm saying in my head, in that split second with the stare down, Kenny is thinking it's unsportsmanlike conduct. I don't think it's unsportsmanlike conduct. The only way you stop Noah from doing something like that is to beat him. If you beat him, he can't stare at you. It's that simple. And I always said, I've always kept this narrative. If y'all don't want the antics out of Noah, just beat him. It's that simple. If you're not going to beat him, you're going to be watching the Noah show, in which we're watching right now.
So people out here talking about, you lame for defending violence. Listen, bro.
No.
Listen,
No.
y'all, I understand that. Respectfully, y'all are spectators. You're not in those situations. You've never been in those situations. You don't know what it feels like coming across the line, and Kenny should have won. How many people voted that Kenny should have won that race? A lot of people voted that Kenny should have won that race. The numbers show that Kenny should have won that race. Kenny faltered. Been across that line, frustration sets in. Then on top of that, the embarrassment of getting taunted by an individual that just beat you, staring you down, basically little broing you and sunning you. You got to realize in them situations, your emotions are going to flare up. As soon as his emotions flared up, he kind of calmed it down because he knew that he was on television. He knew that he was live. So,
and he knew he was wrong.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So at the end of the day, bro, like people on the chat talking about, it's lame to be able to defend violence. I'm not defending violence at all. I'm just telling you that people act different in situations. In our era, that shit would have never flew. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't see Tyson pushing me. You wouldn't see Johan pushing Bolt. This kind of stuff would not happen in our era. One, because that's not how we roll. And then two, somebody would have been on a fight at the track, regardless of the situation. I'm sorry. Regardless of the situation. You'd have been watching a track meet, a 200-meter finals, and you would watch a quick MMA fight that would have happened right then. Because that's how it went down. Literally, NBC would have went to commercial. Peacock would have cut the feed, and the camera would start gliding to the audience, bro. Because that's kind of situation. It's be high pressure situations like that. Now, it takes practice and it takes centering to be able to calm yourself, like Kenny did in that situation. They obviously, when they went on to the camera and had their post interviews, clearly they still had words to say to each other, right? And they said, hey, we could talk about it off camera. So that lets you know right there, it's something more than just a run. There's something more than just a run. When Noah had his post-interview talks, he said no comment to all the questions that involved that altercation. No comment. So at the end of the day, and then when Kenny was doing his thing, Kenny was like, oh, it was about what he did, not what he said. It's about both, Kenny. We know that. It's about both. So the world wants to know at the end of the day, what was said, what happened, what was the reason for this, and respectively, say it in your own piece so we understand what it is. I think at the end of the day, regardless of the pushing and the physical altercations, that kind of grudge is needed for our sport. Show that you're frustrated. Show that you don't like him winning all the time. Show that you want to step up and you want to do better, bro. Because at the end of the day, there's people out there cheering for you who are just as frustrated as you are, but you're sitting there smiling on camera, holding your medal when we know deep down inside you didn't want that shit to happen.
And we see y'all in the chat saying what y'all think it was. We want to make sure if we ever publicate something like that, we have all the facts because we don't want to put any defamation or anything like that on anybody. We are on a platform. So we can't say what you guys say. We can't say, there ain't nobody going to come after y'all. They'll come after us. So we have to be keep it real good on here. But to what y'all are saying, Kenny made a split-second decision in a half a second. If somebody slapped you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to react back. I think that was a reaction of what happened. He came across the line. He saw it, and he just reacted. And then once he caught his realization of what he did, he understand what he did.
So at the end,
go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. I was going to say at the end of the day, let's for the ones I see in the group chat who kind of understand that it might be potentially a backstory and what it is, it's the fact of, yes, potentially there was a burner account that people are talking about, which is track spice, potentially they say allegedly that it was linked back to let's say Kenny's camp, right?
Camp, yes,
So
Kenny's camp.
let's say Kenny's camp. We ain't pointing fingers at any individual saying Kenny's camp. We still don't know that Kenny even knew that that was going on, because he might have been so more focused on getting ready to run, preparing yourself. We don't know that. But at the end of the day, we realize, and people who've seen Track Spice, they were talking a lot of mess about different athletes, you know what I'm saying, airing out stuff that shouldn't have been aired out the way it was done, facelessly. And when an investigator came along, allegedly, the story goes that they found and tracked it back to Claremont and to someone who in their camp, right? And from that situation, that's where a lot of the athletes, where you saw Gabby made certain comments on Twitter and certain people. And I think what happened was, in this situation, and correct me if I'm wrong, like Noah's that kind of person, like if you hate me, you hate me. If you cool with me, you cool with me. But when a lot of stuff was talked probably about him through that track spice, and then realized it got back to him and who was potentially or allegedly the culprit in this situation, it probably made him feel some type of way, which I think it would make anybody feel some type of way, because you don't want nobody laughing in your face, smiling and kikiing, and then they talking shit behind your back. Come on, chat. We realize that. We know that, right? So I think when Noah went out there, he went out there with the intent of winning, of course, his national title and regaining it, but he also went out there to make a statement. And to come across that line with so much veracity that he had in his eyes, and so much like intent of showing you that I'm beating you, that's, I think a lot of it came from that kind of situation. So allegedly, that's the story that's floating around. So that's what we're saying.
We've seen this before by people who wants to win some so bad against one person. If you look at the win-loss column for Noah to Kenny, it's not even. Noah has a lot more wins against Kenny. So every time Kenny thinks it's about to be his time, he just misses it by a little bit. So that could be very frustrating, because you don't want to feel like this person has their thumb on you. You know what I mean? And he thought his season was going so well. He's been undefeated in all races. This is the only defeat he took this year at U.S. trials. He has, I guarantee he is so frustrated with himself. And he knows by the time World comes, he's going to be ready. I mean, he said it over and over. Noah had fresh legs. He ran 5 rounds. That's the reason why he lost. So in his head, he's definitely going to go with this. But this should show you like how much mentally intact you have to be in warfare when going against high-level competitors. You know what I mean? And Justin, you probably could talk more about that on that level, dealing with the high-level 1%ers in your career.
Yeah, 100%. Also, the comment that JH is saying in the chat, talking about if I knew what the backstory is, allegedly. Why am I blaming Lyles? I'm not blaming Lyles at all. In the situation, what did Lyles do that we've seen him done in the past? That's why I went down, you know what I'm saying, the path of he did this in 2018 all the way up to now. He done this, bro. Like, y'all not getting nothing new from Noah. It wasn't a shocker that he came across the line and did some kind of gesture. We've known that. And plenty of times here on our podcast, we say, hey, if you can talk the talk and walk the walk, then go ahead and do it. It takes an individual to go out there and beat you, to silence you. It is Noah's time, because he came and got the first place. So the spotlight is on Noah. So how Noah reacts in that situation, be it that it is sportsmanlike conduct or not sportsmanlike conduct, that's a perspective of anybody here and anybody in the world that is viewing it like we are. And at the end of the day, listen, I like the showmanship that he puts on, because he backs it up. And I've been saying that over and over again. So I'm not blaming Noah at all, bro. But at the end of the day, he used something that he felt that was emotionally charging for him, and he laid it on the track. That's how I see it. And that's the best way a champion does it. I'm not going to confront you. I'm not going to call your phone. I'm not going to see you downstairs in the lobby. I'm going to see you on the track. And when you see me, you're going to see my back. And that's how Noah handled it. And I think that's the most respectful way you can handle it. If you're an athlete, I'm going to show you why I'm an athlete. I'm going to show you I'm the best athlete. I'm going to show you reason why. So that's what it looks like.
Listen, we've seen Noah shoot at athletes with an air gun like this. We've seen Noah backflip on athletes. We've seen Noah charge up on athletes, talking to camera. Like, this is who Noah is. But he will keep growing unless somebody beats him. That's it. So it's just simple. Just beat him.
And at the end of the day, guess what? What Kenny said in his interview, he was right. It was the fact of, listen, they lined up. Noah had less races than him. He ran 5 races to get to that point, and he ran his heart out. So he feels at the end of the day, he feels that Noah's not better than him. If they ran the same amount of races and then they lined up, Kenny feels like he could beat him. He said Noah had fresher legs than him. And I get that. 5 to whatever Noah's 3. So he felt like that's what it was. He felt like, hey, I'm better than him. And he became frustrated in that situation. But once again, you watch an athlete like Kenny, he leveled up from last year. You watch his runs. He's not so much of just cycling anymore. He's actually opened his arms up a little bit more and he's powering down the track. But the unfortunate situation is that Noah has gotten stronger as well. And you see that through that run, how Rod was saying, it's not just about frequency anymore or just top end speed. He's using power into the track and powering through that last 50 meters. So God help everybody after he goes through this cycle of loading from weights and everything like that in these 40 days, what's going to happen when it gets to world championship time? If they're running 19.6 right now, I guarantee you it's going to be something crazier than that later on if they stay on top of that same momentum.
Listen, somebody asked me today, they sent me a picture. They sent me 2 pictures. I wish I could like show it on the what's it called? My phone did. There was a picture of Noah doing the thing to Arian, and then a picture of him coming through the line with Kenyon. There's like, you think he got these up in his house? I was like, bro.
In black and white, bro, blowed up
Like you,
in the movie room, bro.
like right. That's crazy. That's crazy. If it was me, I would put him up though. I ain't gonna lie.
I'll burn your house down.
This is going to make for great content for them later. If we still around content creating, we could probably get a good sit down out of Noah and Kenny. And we could actually hear from them without the allegedly and rumored to be all of that stuff. You know what I mean?
This is a rare moment in our sport community. I'm letting y'all know right now. There's a lot of things that y'all don't see behind the scenes that happens, but this is going to be fuel for both of them going into world championships. This is exactly what we've been asking for. We don't want to just see the Noah show or the Kenny show. We want to see guys go out there and gunsling. We want to see a little bit of grit. We want to see a little bit of grudge. We want to know that you giving your 100% when you step on that line because you know I want to be that guy. I want to win, but I also want to be that guy. And those are the kind of races that are always going to be epic. And at the end of it, whoever wins, we still as an audience are going to be satisfied because we know that they gave it their all. It's going to be a slugfest.